everyone! Well, it's not long to go now. This is literally the most hype event in the Inscription calendar since Inscription ever did launch. I hope you are ready. In this video, we will cover what happens to glyphs in the pre-patch, your best practice to selling glyphs and managing your inventory, the list of glyphs that are turning charred and worthless, the list of glyphs that are being changed into new glyphs, and finally, I have a bit of a heads up for all you scribes over a change that happened in the original pre-patch that you must be prepared for. Don't worry, I used full chapters today, so feel free to skip to the bits that you need. So first then, Glyph-Mas, as we like to call it, takes place in the Cataclysm pre-patch. The way glyphs work has been changed. Instead of consuming a glyph when you replace it, you just learn each glyph that you use, and that character is going to keep the glyph forever. So why is this special? Well, it's a collector's mentality out there, basically. You don't know when you're going to need or want that one particular glyph. Maybe you're fighting a boss one day and it turns out to be the best glyph ever. What if you're fishing and you just need water walking right now? The best thing you, I, and every other player can possibly do in pre-patch for each and every character that we play or might play is buy every single glyph. And that's what we're going to do. But very few people are actually sadistic enough to sell glyphs. And even fill in your entire inventory and bank with inscription bags full of glyphs, you're only going to have enough to supply maybe 25, 50 players if you're lucky. Not to mention the auction house throttle, the enemy of every goblin. If you do one post scan, every glyph, 2 each, that is an instant auction house throttle on your whole account for the next hour. It takes about 60 posts to throttle you. 6 billion glyphs, post 2 each, do the maths, you're in trouble fast. Cut it down to 1 of each and you're still throttled. So you won't be cancel scanning much unless the new auction house comes in. And while the dedicated few who do sell more, they will sell more than you. You'll have the advantage of keeping your sanity low for sure. Then look at actually crafting glyphs. Again, it's a nightmare. You need to stock 20 of each, no more than 20. So 1 stack and all your restocks must keep within that. It is the most precise form of selling in Wrath and Cataclysm, as if you stock too many at once or too few, you're going to end up with a complete mess. The only way to manage this really is to divide up your stock. The way that works best for me is dividing it by class, so I do 3 classes per character, although one will obviously have more. With the Cataclysm changes though, you could probably just divide it into minor, major, prime, and you'll be fine. So this is where TSM comes in pretty much essential. I've posted my glyph groups and operations in the Discord server, but I'm going to show you quickly how to make your own as well. Basically, on the TSM front screen, you need to select base groups and then type into the search bar glyph of. This will bring up all the glyphs rather than just what you're holding in your inventory. So you select all, but then you need to manually deselect the bottom 3 options because they're not actually glyphs. So you click the plus sign and that adds them into your group, or you create a new group if you need to. After that, you just create your operations as you want them. Personally, I keep my minimum stock quantity at 12, maximum at 18. The reason why I do it that way is TSM won't count the ones sold as sold until you collect them from the mail, and I don't want to wind up with extras. I also select the option to keep 1 of them in my bags at all times. So that's how you cope selling glyphs. If you have any hints or tips yourself though, I would love to hear them. So first of all, everyone wants to know which glyphs are going to be charred and worthless. So the following glyphs here were charred the first time round. Now we can't promise you they won't have changed, but right now I can't test this one correctly on beta, so the past is really all we've got to go on. For Warlock, glyph of Siphon Life. Mage, glyphs of Arcane Explosion, Fire Blast, Scorch, Mana Gem, and Fire Ward. Hunter, glyph of Wally. Warrior, glyph of Barbaric Insults, Last Stand, Taunt. Death Knight, glyph of Icebound Fortitude, and Druid has got glyph of Survival Instincts and Rapid Rejuvenation. So other glyphs are going to change. I've popped a list on the screen right now of all the glyphs that are being changed and what they're changing into. I'm not going to bore you all by reading them all out. You can join us on Discord if you like though. I've put a link in description and I've put the list in there too. So one final tip, and this one is a big deal. I've got one last thing to share. Right back in 2010, was it actually 2010? Around then, right? In the original Cataclysm pre-patch, the ink trader was updated to only trade in Blackfellow ink, so you could no longer trade your Wrath of the Lich King ink downwards. You might want to consider then trading your ink prior to the pre-patch. Obviously, don't go all in, or maybe do if you're confident. And remember, this is information based on what happened 14 years ago. It might not be relevant right now, but we do not have a PTR currently to show us otherwise, and I wanted to get this out before we ran out of time to prepare. So I have a Season of Discovery farm video and an alchemy guide for Season of Discovery coming out in the next couple of days. My next Cataclysm video is going to be covering archaeology in the pre-patch, and I'll expect that one to be ready over the weekend. So please do remember to hit subscribe if that's something that's interesting to you. Oh, and of course to like. Please don't forget to like it. Thanks a lot. Bye.